A Seattle party planner realizes that all of her former sexual partners are dying. She needs to get to the bottom of it to figure out how to stop it. Let's talk about Peacock's Laid. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the new Peacock series, Laid. This is streaming for season 1 right now. There are 8 episodes, 8 half-hour episodes, and no season 2 has been announced yet, but this certainly ends on a cliffhanger, so there are a lot of possibilities for a potential future season or 2. But as of right now, we have these 8 episodes, and I've seen all of them, so this will be a review for the full season 1 of Laid. And before we get into the specifics here, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a subscriber already for Dan Reviews It, thank you so much for that. Love seeing you guys return to the channel. But if you're not, please consider subscribing and click that notification bell too, so you get the alerts for all my new videos, which I try to put out just about every day. So there's always a lot to check out here on the channel. You can just like or comment below, of course, too. That helps the channel out tremendously. All right, so Laid is the name of the show, and we have Stephanie Hsu, Oscar nominee for Everything Everywhere All at Once. She is the star here. She plays Ruby, who is the aforementioned Seattle party planner. She is 33, and she is realizing that one by one, her former sex partners are dying in interesting ways, and she learns as well, with the help of her friend played by Zosia Mamet, named AJ, that they are also dying in the order of which the fornication took place. They have a sex timeline, and they need to figure out what the hell's going on so they can stop it. And Stephanie Hsu, I mentioned, from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Zosia Mamet, you might know her from Girls or from Netflix's The Decameron. I know her best from The Flight Attendant, where she is Kaylee Cuoco's friend and, lawyer. But it's interesting because she plays not a completely dissimilar character here. She's not a lawyer by any means, but she plays the best friend who has to figure out details of some deaths, which is, kind of what happens in The Flight Attendant too. But I'm going to say right up front that this is a very specific style of comedy. I don't know that it's going to work for everybody. It worked very well for me, but there's a lot of pop culture references here. It is very quick paced, even in the more emotional or dramatic moments or reflective moments. There are some jokes coming at you. It reminds me very much, and she's got nothing to do with this, but it reminds me of sort of the Mindy Kaling style in her characters for her shows and movies. And the other one I thought of was Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno and Jennifer's Body. This sort of very, joke-heavy dialogue, but it is sort of how real people with a quick wit would speak. The Mindy Project is probably the closest thing I can think of to this type of humor. For me, that works. And here there's some interesting, running gags, about the Dahmer series on Netflix, Amanda Knox, the horror movie Malignant gets 3 or 4 episodes worth of play, which is an interesting pull for a joke. But it's really fun to watch these two gals figure out what's going on. Stephanie Hsu, listen, I'm going to look. Have I seen her in anything other than Everything Everywhere All at Once? I'm sure I have. I try to see so much, but let's see here. Well, she was in, SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway. I did not see that. But she was in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Oh, yes, she sure was. She was in, I think, at least the last few seasons, if not all of the seasons. But she played Mei Lin, and she factored into the Maisel, family history kind of thing. Okay, all right, so I've definitely seen her in that. But she is perfectly cast in this role. Again, I don't know her too much, but you need somebody, I think, with the ability to make this very, very selfish and self-centered character, and as the series goes on, she learns from both people telling her and from a little bit of self-reflection that she always seems to make everything all about her. She makes an ex's wedding about her. She just continually is, her own worst enemy in that regard. But you need somebody that can play it sympathetic as well. Like, she doesn't come off as necessarily a villain or an a-hole. She comes across a little bit clueless, maybe a little bit dim. But look, she's got a successful career. She's a party planner. She's doing her best with what she's got. She obviously has a good friend in AJ, but she definitely is selfish. And yes, she is trying to stop this sex death thing from happening, trying to figure out what's going on. She doesn't want to see her exes keep dying, so there is certainly some redemption there. But when it comes down to it, she is about herself, and her for sure. But you need somebody that can play that comedically rather than, oh, this bitch, what is she doing now? And there is a little bit of that, but I think for the most part, we feel bad for her and sympathize, and we want to find out what's going on too, which we do about halfway through the series, or the season, I should say, because it's not quite over yet, maybe. And I thought maybe once we figured out what was going on, that it would, kind of dull the intrigue of the show, but it actually doesn't. They've definitely found ways to spin that, and once she knows, she has to try and figure out how now to stop it. And then it's even more intriguing, that last episode, when there's a big bombshell and the cliffhanger, which, we won't go into here, of course, but I did not expect anything. I guess I thought it might be wrapped up. It's not listed as a miniseries, so I don't know why I thought that, but it seemed like maybe once they figured out everything, it would be done. But as a lot of the murder mystery shows that these characters enjoy watching themselves, sometimes it's never truly over. And that appears to be the case if they decide to move forward with a couple other seasons. And Zosia Mamet, she's fantastic. Now look, she is the daughter of pithy playwright David Mamet, so obviously she's got a quick wit that she got from her dad, and it serves her very well here, as it did in some of the other shows I've mentioned. I've never seen Girls. I'm not a huge Lena Dunham fan, but her character in The Flight Attendant, the D. Cameron, I didn't love, but I thought her character was fun. But she can elevate even sort of a mid-tier kind of a line with a great delivery, pitch perfect timing, and the two of them play off each other very well. And there's other people involved here. There's a bunch of sort of cameos, or one or two episode, recurring roles that I won't really mention because they're kind of fun to watch. But third listed is Michael Angarano, who was on Will and Grace as Jack's son. He was probably 12 or 13 when he did that role, but now he's also in his 30s, and he plays one of the exes that tries to kind of go along for the ride and figure this all out. There's a lot of layers here to what's going on, and again, the comedy is not going to be for everyone. For me, I think it worked very well. This is in that tradition of some of the Mindy Kaling stuff. And I should say, it's no surprise because this was developed, well, it's from an Australian show also called Laid, that was out years ago. I don't know how long that lasted, but this is the same concept as that, but it was developed for American television by Natasha Khan, who worked on Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 and Fresh Off the Boat. She's got a really sharp sense of humor and wit about her as well, that I would put her kind of in that Mindy Kaling type of camp, in terms of, what she finds funny and sort of that lane. I think it serves her well here, and I think everybody that's in the cast, serves the material well. Also. So you can check out season 1 of Laid right now on Peacock. I leave it with an A-. Maybe my favorite comedy of the year. I would have to go back and look at what comedies came out for 2024. This hit at the end of December, so it technically counts as a 2024 show, which, I'll be doing my best and worst of 2024 before too long, but definitely one of the top comedies of the year, and I hope for season 2. So, all right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time. Bye.